China is in Africa, and they're there to stay. The African Union convened a summit of heads of state and heads of government to discuss the issue of China on the continent. Unfortunately, when the heads of state go back to their respective countries, they have these bilateral arrangements with China. So China will get away with quite a lot. But the point is that China has come to the continent at a critical time for the continent. The mistakes that we have made as Kenya, many other African countries made. We didn't invest in our infrastructure. And by infrastructure, I'm talking again, roads, rails, airports, ports, energy. The Chinese are coming. The Chinese have arrived. When they start building a road, they build a road 24/7. When they come with the expertise, they come with the technology, and very importantly, they come with the finance. There are very few African countries that will say no to someone who comes and say, I will build 50 kilometers of road. I've got the technology. Just let me know when I can import it. I'll bring my equipment here. I'll work with some of your own contracting companies, your contractors. But we will build this road. Don't worry about where the money is going to come from. We are going to give you this concessional loan that you don't have to pay in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years. And in fact, even if you don't pay it, it is not a big deal. What we want is to see a road here. So what are the Chinese seeing? The Chinese are seeing commodities. The rest of the world is going to be rushing for commodities on the continent, but China will already have been there because they'll have done the roads and all the rest of the infrastructure. And in another 10 years, the population on the continent will be 1 billion. That is a sizable market. The Chinese have figured that. So they don't sit down negotiating, oh, when are you going to pay us back this money? How are you going to pay us back this money? Say, you need the road, let's go. When can we start? And they start. So it is a very tricky situation for Africans because they must make sure, we must make sure that we don't allow ourselves to be at the mercy of the Chinese moving forward. But at the same time, we're saying, my goodness, look, we were all at the same level as Malaysia, South Korea, Taiwan, just 25, 30 years ago. And what they did was they invested in infrastructure. So if the Chinese are going to help us to do that, because it is huge amounts of money. So no government on the continent today can afford it without substantial funding coming from somewhere. And that's where the Chinese are really beating everybody else and making it an offer that is difficult to turn down.